Hello everyone, I'm RobtheMod. Welcome to part 79 of Gran Turismo 7 on PlayStation 5. We're doing the World Touring Car 800 event that is at Bathurst, and it's 60 minutes long. This will be fun, as I said. I think it would have been yesterday. I think I've scheduled it this way. Yeah, I can't use the GTR 500. I've already selected it, I don't know why I was having that issue. And now my nose is starting to be a little bit itchy. I noticed there was a little bit of a green line that was appearing with the green screen. I guess I haven't got just the way the sunlight and all that is. This will be fun, by the way, because we've got 20 cars in this race, and yet 60 minutes to get in first place. Honestly, we're probably going to be lapping them pretty hard. Although I'm not a big fan of this track, I'll be honest. I probably should have also done like the oil change beforehand. God, I don't know what I'm going to be talking about during this, by the way. There may be long periods of just silence. As I concentrate on just overtaking everyone. Gotta pay attention to my tyres. Yeah, that's the Alpha. I'm not really a big fan of this track. Well, which doesn't help. I'm kind of wondering now if I used the GT500 for, or the NSX I should say, for the Willow Springs event before. But with it, like, the power set to 700. Because, yeah, the Supra felt so sluggish and accelerating when I did that yesterday. Very weird. But then again, it could also have been a difference in, like, when I last did that. Because, like, there's been updates since. Right, that's been a lap. Don't want to bump you, but it's happening. Yeah. Yeah, I know I'm going to be recording for an hour, and of course, that's when itchiness decides to rear its head. 548. 548? 458 Italia. You dare hit me in the arse. I mean, I know it was my fault for going in front of you, then slamming on the brakes, but. Losing a bit of control of that. Right. Want to get up to this Jaguar. Oh, well, I'm going to just cut straight across here, because. What do you want me to do? My front bumper is flashing red. Probably because I've damaged it. In a small capacity. Hopefully it will fix itself. That's what normally happens. But then again, I've never really done one of these 60-minute races. Well, get past these guys. Of course, they move over to that side of the track. We're 10th, or we were 10th before the Corvette took its place back again. Get past the GTR. You know what's really annoying? You don't even get much for doing this. I think people were saying you got 140,000 credits. Which sounds like a lot until you realise that, like, if you did Sedana, I forgot the name of it, I can't pronounce it. But you know, Sagana, or whatever, however it's pronounced. For the hour, you get 2 million credits. Now, you do get 1 million credits from a credit ticket for doing all 5. But still, that's not... You're still probably better off grinding the other way, but... I want to do this to get it out of the way. To be honest, because I've never done one of these. Well... I thought, why not? I'm going to try and do this legit most of the time anyway. Oh yeah, totally. V8 powered Beetle. Although, to be honest, what I was probably hearing was a Hurricane. Oh. Guess I got a little bit too close to the Lancer. We're in 5th, though. The other guys are way in front. That's the only problem. Not this guy, but like... top 3. The only problem with Bathurst. "29 seconds behind." And they're only gaining because on a tight, technical, twisty bit of the track. And obviously at some point we've got to pull in for gas and tyres. Well, I ain't gaining on them now, but then they're going to have this... I mean, I can technically do it by just cheating and going straight across here, but like... you have that problem. Which is not good. It better not affect me for the entire race. Better fix itself. Because that's going to be annoying to kind of deal with. Yeah, it does fix itself. Which is nice. I don't even really think that helped me. To be honest. Didn't help. Well, I can see... it helped me kind of gain up to 3rd, but like... the guy in 1st is so far ahead that, like... no. Like I was saying, oh, I'm going to be lapping these guys. Nah. I don't think I will be. Oh, for a second I thought it was the next guy, and then I realised it was the bloody lookout point for, like, the marshals. God, I'm losing the back end. But that still kind of helped. Don't ask me how that helped. But it did. But yeah, I was losing the back end massively there. I was trying to go at the right because the tyre's damaged. Gonna get past this. Oh, we're gonna try and get past the AMG. Super cheap auto. Tell you what though, this is gonna put a lot of miles on this car. Isn't it? The other thing is I got like a cup of tea to drink. So I want to drink it before it goes cold. But like, there's not really that many straight sections of the track. So there might have to be bits where I pause it and then take the drink. Don't really like doing. Mainly because it involves editing. And you know me. With editing. Oh. Let me past. There we go. Actually going to try and go down this section properly. Here's the guy in first. Brown. Oh god. As the car just decided to go off the track. Guess I was coming up to him way too... you know what that'll have been? That'll be in the tyres because we're halfway through them. That's what that'll have been. A little bit careful with the tyres when I'm coming off the long straightaway. See, this is what I was on about with the line. Oh god. Should be paying attention to where I'm going. Oh. Hitting the wall again. As I'm trying to catch up to this guy. Just makes me want to ram him off the road to get past him. Not even his fault. Just me being a bad driver. That didn't work. I did cause him to go in the air slightly, though. At this point, I'd been interrupted, as you could see by the transition there, and I'd muted my microphone to talk to someone. And even though I'd hit the button to unmute, sometimes this microphone gets a little bit weird in regards to that, and you have to hit it twice, and I didn't realise. So for the next 5 minutes or so, just enjoy the sound of car noises, especially as I try to take this guy out. Okay, that's why I don't mute the microphone while I'm talking to people that interrupt me. That's awkward, isn't it? I'm going to have to do that little bit of editing again. And presumably do what I did God of War. Blur my face, because there's no point. But I'm so glad I looked down. Let me say what I was saying before about why I bumped that guy. It's basically to do with, you know, well, I'm not going to get the clean race bonus. I wasn't going to get it anyway. And it gave a little bit of a gap to for when I have to do the pit. Not that that was going to be a problem anyway, but like, yeah, it was mainly just I wasn't going to get the clean race bonus. The guy was kind of annoying me. That's why I did it. But of course, it's typical, isn't it? Anytime I do some sort of long-form recording, typically, I end up messing it up with the microphone. You know what's really stupid as well? I pressed the button to unmute it. It just gets stuck sometimes, I think. Like, you have to press it twice. Just like this monitor that I'm using is, like, really, really dumb sometimes, because it gets stuck on the PC input. I've explained it before, but basically there's like a little jog wheel button on the bottom of the monitor. All Samsung monitors have this. Well, it depends on the location of it, because that monitor over there, the secondary monitor, is actually the monitor that I had first. That had, well, actually no, to be fair, the actual Samsung TV that I used to have in this room. Which, oh my god, that thing was bought in 2010. It's 14 years old. Christ. I still have it. It's absolutely tiny for a flat screen now. It's literally like 18, 20 inches. I look at it and I'm like, oh my god, that thing is tiny. But basically, yeah. They've always had like this jog button that they call it on the back or on the bottom of the monitor. And basically it works as a power button if you press it in. Well, not if you press it in. Basically, if you press it in, you get like a menu, and one of those menu options is power. Because it works, it's like an up, down, left, right thing. So like, if you don't press it in, you just press it up, you get like, it switches inputs. Or it's supposed to switch inputs if it doesn't detect. This is why it's very confusing. Because like, if it doesn't detect an input, that works as switching inputs. But if it does have an input, it works as controlling the brightness. And then going left and right does the volume, even though it doesn't have speakers, but that's like the, you know, the any external speakers that you've got plugged into it. And then pressing down does muting. But then when you've got a menu up, it controls the menu. And then like, if you press it in, you get a completely different menu. And then that also lets you, that menu lets you switch inputs directly. So yeah, basically, I've never had a problem with this system. I mean, on the TV, it was never a problem in the first place. I'm going to do one more lap, and then I'm going to go in for a pit. I said it was, actually, that's a thing that I was going to, I'm pretty sure I said while I was muted, was I said, oh, I'm probably going to have to go in for a pit around the 35-minute mark. Which was accurate. But yeah, when I had the TV as like, using the TV as a monitor, it came with a remote. And I have that remote in here because I just wanted to see if like I could actually control the monitors with the remote. I'm pretty sure I knew that you couldn't. But I just wanted to give it a try just in case. Because obviously remotes and stuff have a proper input button and all that. You know, buttons that actually work. Amazing. I mean, I'm saying that, but like, I think it's like this specific design of button, like jog button that they've got, because this monitor that I've got on my left has the exact same design as that TV, and I've never had a problem. I've had this monitor for like 4 or 5 years at this point. That TV, I had it for like, well, you know, I've had it for like 14 years at this point. I haven't used it probably in like the last 2 years, because I did use it as like a secondary monitor. When I got this, because this monitor is 28 inches, basically, and so is the monitor that I'm using. But the problem is that the monitor that is on my left, the older one, it's 4K, but it doesn't do HDR. And of course, one of the big benefits with 4K is the HDR. It's not technically part of the standard. They're technically two different standards. You can have 1080p with HDR. But, yeah, that was the issue. I'll only get one more lap out of this. Well, guess what? I'm going to go in for a pit then. Brake card. And I may as well do tyre change while I'm at it. Imagine if I just hit don't refuel. But yeah, basically, this monitor that I'm using, the jog button is on the bottom, whereas the other two, the jog wheel is on the jog button, I should say, is on the back, and they're a completely different design. And this one, I think, when the monitor's on, it just gets hot in that section, and it just stops it working. Or dust gets in it, or something, basically, I'm assuming. Because it works as a button, but it doesn't work if you press it in. Which is important, because that's how you switch the input. So the only way, and you can't turn the thing off while it's on. Which is, you know, the crucial thing, because you have to press it in to turn the device off, because that brings up the power option. So yeah, that is a kind of crucial issue that occurs. You can't turn the device off while it's doing that. Which, it's not, I mean, it's a problem, because it did it just before I was about to record this, so how do you fix it? Well, you're supposed to, like, spray compressed air in it and, like, well, supposedly Samsung will fix it if you send it to them. I can't remember exactly. I need to check the exact date when I bought this, but then I'll be out with a monitor if I send it in for repair. That's the problem. But if it's like, if I legit am within the 2-year warranty period, I might actually just do it. But yeah, you're supposed to spray compressed air into it and then wiggle the button about, and that will fix it, right? And that sometimes works. Another recommendation is literally just to slap the bottom of the monitor hard a bit, and that will dislodge any gunk that's in there, dust and stuff, you know. That worked. That's how I got this to do it this time. But then, like, when I did that the other day, because this happened, like, when I went to record ODST the other day as well, the next day I legit couldn't turn the monitor on. It was very weird. that's the problem as well. Like if the dust is stuck in there and it's like stopping the button from being pressed in, you need to press the button in to turn the monitor on or off. Like switching inputs, you can technically do if the monitor's got no signal. That's not I mean, it's a problem because you can't. When I'm trying to because it's plugged in and detected by the PC, the PC actually tries to display on the monitor even though it's not showing the correct input. Like when I look now, like this is the weird with my old monitor, or I should say with the monitor on the left. When that was the primary monitor, I don't know what something I've done here with this thing, but like when that was the primary monitor, if I switched the inputs on it to HDMI, because it's on DisplayPort basically, but if I switched the inputs, then it would then effectively act as if that display wasn't connected to the PC. It would just send all the or Windows would send all the desktop icons and all that to the secondary monitor, which was good because it basically moved anything that was on that monitor over onto the secondary monitor, and that was fine because when you've got like a recording schedule and all that, you don't need to think about what monitor to put the things on before you start switching inputs. Whereas, I think you can tell where I'm going with this one, Windows doesn't seem to do that with this monitor. What it seems to do is literally just act as if it's there the entire time, and just continue sending a display input to it even if it's not the correct input. So presumably this monitor isn't sending information back to it that it's not displaying the input, which is very weird considering, you know, this thing is technically more advanced than the Jaguar just magically appeared. Yeah, this thing is technically more technologically advanced than this one, yet it can't even do that. And I can believe it because when I was researching this, I was trying to see if there was basically a way to switch inputs on the monitor via the PC. And there actually is, like, that's in the specification. Like, technically, PC monitors can be switched from the PC. Windows doesn't technically support it by default, but there is, like, programs out there that can do that. Now, you need to, like, program it in. You need to, like... It's all, like, command line stuff, and it's, like, complicated, and it's got to like learn the particular codes of your monitor and all that, but it can be done. And when I was looking at this, because I downloaded this program just to have a look to see if there was any specific error codes that it was generating, see if there was a problem, you know, because they're supposed to give like error codes and stuff back to the PC as well. And I could see all the codes for this monitor, the one on the left. It gives like loads of stuff about vertical sync and all that, and like all these different codes. Like all the video information, all the inputs that you could do and all that. You know, it was like input type and all that. This one, it only had like 5 codes that it was sending, and none of them were like input information. It was very weird. But this is the thing. It was doing that while it was broken. Or broken. While it wouldn't switch inputs. So I wonder if I do it now, while it's working, if it will actually be sending more information. Like, if there's a... I wonder if there's like a part. Because it seems to be... This is the weird thing. When you turn the monitor on, it will let you switch inputs straight away. Even when it's getting a signal. Right? It only ever seems to do this bit when it's been on a bit and it's a bit warm at the bottom. which is why I was thinking it was a heat issue, not a dust issue. But then like hitting it seems to like fix it, which wouldn't be a heat issue. But I wonder if there's like something in there, like glue, like not hot glue, but like something in there that they use for the jog wheel, or like some control board that gets a bit of dust on it and it kind of melts onto something, and that causes an issue or something. But like hitting it dislodges it and it stops that issue. Or I legit have no idea. Or maybe it's like some sort of, maybe there's like some sort of thing you can, like, if they use it for, they use the same chip for like devices where you wouldn't want it to be like tampered with, like you know, when you're in McDonald's or any kind of fast food restaurant and they have like those screen order boards, right? Now typically those aren't consumer TVs or monitors or anything like that. They're specialized devices, but they are made by the like normal consumer electronics manufacturers. They just have like different firmware on them. So the idea is that, you know, they're hooked up, they're able to like last running for 24 hours a day and all that. But presumably, but the thing is, they don't want the employees fiddling with the displays. But the employees still need to be able to turn them on and all that. So, and off. Which makes me think, if like, maybe there's something on like the whatever little chip that controls this, where if it gets a certain signal, this is the thing. I don't know what would be sending that signal. That doesn't make any sense. Like, well, like maybe there's a kind of thing where like, if something on the chip gets covered up by something, or like if there's something internal on these like these special TVs, where like it allows the employee to turn it on and off at a set time, for example, but then like otherwise, like the TV internally slides something that covers up something on the chip that stops the button from working, so the inputs can't be switched or the device can't be turned off or on at certain times of the day. Like if the establishment's closed, you don't want the TV on or being left on, you know, and you don't want, while the establishment's open, the device to be turned off. That would make sense. So that, I mean, I know this is not at all relevant to Gran Turismo, but like, it would make sense if they used the same thing for that and it just gets covered up by like dust and debris that gets into that gap, because obviously it is a gap. Oh my god, as I slide out of control. That was horrific. A horrific spin out. Luckily, no one was injured, but it did make me feel a little bit sick. I'll be fine. I mean, I know I've got 20 minutes to go, but yeah, I'll be fine. The car was just bored of me talking about that. That's what that was. Let's get past the Mercedes. Tell you what, this car is very economical. I want to see if I can actually lap everyone. I don't think it's actually going to happen, fortunately. I mean, there's 17 minutes left, but I don't think it's happening. Although, that guy is only in 5th, but then the AI is even lapping the other AI. It's hilarious. Oh god, don't make me go into the... Good sod. The back end of my car was going in the grass. I could feel the back end like losing control. Anyway, yeah, I'm trying to think of things to talk about now, because when you've been talking for like 45 minutes straight, it's kind of tough to... And, I mean, if I was doing this live, like if I was streaming this on Twitch, you'd have people in chat talking about things, so you'd be able to, like, do that. But when you're doing it, like, as an actual just recording, it's kind of a hard thing to do. when it's like if I was playing a game and especially when it's just the same thing over and over again, you know, just continual laps of this track. Like if I was playing, say, Grand Theft Auto and I was doing multiple missions, right, in a single session, it's very simple to do that because you're talking about the different things that happen in the mission, the different enemies and all that kind of stuff, right? Whereas, as I hit the wall, thank you. That was very helpful. You slowed him down. Whereas when you're just doing it like this, it's kind of a tough thing to do. And it's an endurance race, which will be fun when I eventually play Gran Turismo. Is it 5 that has the real life 24-hour races? Don't know how I'm going to handle those. Might be Gran Turismo 4 as well. Could be wrong. Sure, some of the Gran Turismos have like legit 24-hour endurance races. I mean, the idea is that you pause them and then you carry on, but like, yeah. That is, I'm not going to lie, a little bit daunting to do. It'd certainly be an experience to do them, but I don't know. I mean, if I was... I want to go back to doing Gran Turismo 1 at some point. That was the thing. I was talking... I think this is coming out the day after. I'm not delaying it a week. But yeah, yesterday I was talking about games that I kind of started and delayed. Well, basically, there was... I mentioned there was Ratchet & Clank. There was Conker's Bad Fur Day that I started and then I never released. There's Doom Eternal, which is technically on hiatus. Because I started it and then I got to like... Because I only want to do a game if I can finish it, basically. Or finish it reasonably. Because I did it with Gran Turismo 6, like if you guys remember. Which you probably don't. But like, basically I got to like episode 67. It's very stupid as well, because like when I came back to it, I don't even know what was annoying me. I'd literally unlocked the S-Class stuff, the S-License stuff, and I hadn't touched any of it. What I was stuck on was there was in the A... Was it the A-Class? I can't remember. Whatever it was. Basically, the class below. It was like a NASCAR event that was like absolutely ridiculous. And I had this kind of thing in my mind, I guess, back then where, oh, I'm not progressing until I've done everything. And there was this bloody NASCAR event that I just immediately span out on at the start of the race because it was just the way of the physics in the game. Like, you needed like a... Back when I started it, I wasn't really like... I mean, I don't really do it now, but like... tuned cars and all that in Gran Turismo. Never really used them. I'm normally just using a stock car, which is kind of funny. Because NASCAR. But yeah, for this event, you kind of needed... a slightly modified NASCAR vehicle, and I didn't know that, so every single time I was trying to do it, they were kind of like pulling ahead immediately, and you only had like 5 laps or whatever. Not that I was having an issue. What the hell are you doing, Peugeot? You just absolutely oh, they've run out of fuel. That's what was happening there. That's why they were going so slow. Yeah, sometimes when vehicles run out of fuel, they go that slow. But yeah, so basically I had this issue in Gran Turismo 6 where I wanted to complete the NASCAR event before I moved on. And I just couldn't do it. And at that time, I was doing Gran Turismo 6 3 times a week, because this was very early on in the channel where I was only doing like 2 or 3 games. And it was at that point that I kind of went, I'm not doing Gran Turismo 6 anymore, it's finished. And then I said, oh, well, what I actually said was, oh, it's on hiatus, I'll come back to it at some point. And then I just never did for like 8 or so years. But I finally did come back to it, at least. And it's finished. And then after that, I started Gran Turismo 7. Because I meant to start like Gran Turismo Sport. But I didn't have a PS4 as well, that was a problem. Because like when I first started, or when we first started the Insane Gamers channel, I should say. Because there was a group of us, and I need to remember that. Technically, you know, this channel did not start as mine, although it is mine now. But when we were the Insane Gamers, there was like a couple of us. There was Beefy, there was Paul Fairbridge, there was Reedy, there was others. And basically everyone else didn't want their content left on the channel when it became mine, apart from Reedy. Reedy was okay with that. So, thank you, Reedy, for that. But, I mean, I'm gonna have to go in for a fuel stop, aren't I? Which is dumb. But I'll do it, because I've got, like, 1 minute and 46 seconds ahead of second. I mean, this is definitely gonna complete the driving marathon, isn't it? This event. But, yeah. Basically, so Gran Turismo 6, I never did. I once started Enslaved Odyssey to the West, but I only did the first episode and I never released it. Because it was at that point when I was like, I'm doing way too much. I should start games when I have a free slot available. Basically, that was my... And that's basically what I've done ever since. Apart from there was a brief period of time where I wanted to play a couple of other games, and this is what I was on about when I was on my Gran Turismo. There was a period of time where I wanted to play a couple of other games. Because I was in a period where I was playing a lot of the same games. They were like very long. They were lasting ages. Like I'm on about literal months of their schedule. And it was like Forza Horizon 5 and then whatever stuff was around that bit. God of War. That's like 75 episodes. Forza Horizon 5 is like 80 something episodes. Yeah, I'm going to go in for the fuel. Even though I don't need it, I'm going to do it. But yeah, there was all these different games I was doing that were really long, and I was like, I need to... Well, I did actually need the fuel. There's all these different games, and I was kind of like, oh, I'm going to start some others. Just to play, so I don't get bored playing these. Because that's the thing, you get burnout when you play the same game over and over and over and over and over and over. Right, so I started Gran Turismo 1. Because I was like, oh, that's a very short game. I don't know why I filled up all the way. That was a bit stupid. And then the other thing that I did was I did Sly Cooper. Started Sly Cooper. And then recently, when I mean Sly Cooper, I mean Sly Cooper 1. And then recently I've started like The Last of Us Part 1 with the idea of doing it in like Halloween. The only problem with that is the reason I started that, because I wasn't gonna originally. The only reason I did it was because it was on PlayStation Plus Extra and I wanted to play it before my sub expired, but then I kind of realized that wasn't gonna happen. because of Christmas, and I didn't really want the Christmas tree in for Halloween, which obviously became a problem. So now my PlayStation Plus Extra sub has expired, so I'm actually going to have to buy that game itself, which is awkward. But I do actually want to. I was enjoying it, so I don't mind paying for it. Yeah, I absolutely don't mind paying for Last of Us Part 1. It was a very fun game. But yeah, basically, I started Gran Turismo 1, and it had some technical issues relating to the PS3, basically, because I don't have a PS1. I do have a PS2, but I don't like using it for, like, recording things. I'd rather use the PS3 output. But yeah, in regards to the Gran Turismo 1, it caused a little bit of an issue, because I didn't quite realize this at the time, but it kind of came into effect a few weeks later. Basically, I started recording Gran Turismo 1, and by the third or fourth episode, there was basically this point where, like, the camera was, like, stuck in, like, a look-back mode. I think it's, like, you press L1. Yeah, it's L1. Obviously, it's the same in this game. They've actually kept that from the original game. Wow, don't drift. But yeah, if you press L1, you get stuck in this look-back mode. Apart from the fact in Gran Turismo 1, I was playing in, like, this view. So, like, you had to do this. But it was, like, during a license test. I needed to complete this license test to, like, progress. And you can't really do that if you're stuck in this view. Basically, if you're stuck in this view, you can't complete a license test. And basically, I said, I can't do this until whatever problem this is fixed. Because I was playing a bunch of other PS3 games, like I was playing Sly Cooper, I was playing Ratchet and Clank, playing a bunch of stuff, and none of the, like, the controller wasn't an issue for any of those games. It made no sense. Why was it having an issue with Gran Turismo? Why was this happening? So I was like, oh, I'm gonna get another controller. Now, I actually did have another PS3 controller, I just kind of forgot about it, I don't know why. But I did. And basically, a few weeks later, I was playing Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, it was Going Commando. And it's actually in the episode, my DualShock, I think the episode is called My DualShock 3 Broke During This Level, or whatever it is. But yeah, basically, and then I think well, this is the issue that occurs with, like, PS3 controllers. As they kind of get old, which is the issue. So, and my understanding is it also kind of happens with PS2 controllers as well, but not to this extent. It's more of an issue with them being wireless. But basically, because of, like, the size of the controller, they don't have very good hand grip. So you kind of squeeze them a lot more when you're holding them. And obviously, if you know anything about electronics, you squeeze something, the board inside gets cracked. Once the board inside gets cracked, or specifically the traces of the board inside get cracked, they start exhibiting weird behavior at first, and then eventually it just completely breaks. And that's what was happening. Because in Ratchet and Clank, the L1 button does something. I can't remember what it was. I think it was, yeah, it was a look down thing, or what. Basically, I think what was, if I remember correctly, what happened was it was going into, like, the first person mode, but then, like, the analog sticks were also doing weird shit. Because there was a bit in that game where I'd be, like, moving, but the analog stick wouldn't be, like, responding exactly to what I was doing. A bit like stick drift, apart from the fact that it was, like, ridiculously more, like, worse than what stick drift is. But I kind of, at the time, was chalking it up to lag, because the PS3 version of the Ratchet & Clank remasters is not exactly that well optimized. But yeah, that was the issue. It turns out that, like, all the years of using the PS3, the controller had, like, finally given up. And apparently it's a very common thing with PS3 controllers, especially now as they get old, and the tracers were going, and yeah. We did 103 miles there. But yeah, yes, because I want to watch the entire replay for a whole hour. But yeah, that is what happened, and it was, I kind of... The thing is, I want to go back to playing Gran Turismo 1, but I don't actually have the game anymore. I sold it. Because, like, CEX, which is a UK retailer, they were offering, like, insane deals on PS1 games if you trade them in. Because they were really trying to get into, like, retro stuff a couple of months back. Like, absolutely legit. Like, I think I paid, like, I need to do an oil change on this car. Hang on, I will do that first before I do the gifts, because I need to remember to do that. But yeah, like, absolutely ridiculous deals, because it was like, I remember paying like £5 for Gran Turismo 1 from there, like, years ago. And yet, here they were offering like £35 voucher, which means they were selling it for more than that, right? For the game. And I had like a whole bunch of like PS1 games that I just was not touching, that were just worth money. So I ended up just trading it in and getting something. Well, getting a bunch of PS5 and PS4 games that I want to do on the channel, to be fair. Because that was the problem with like PS1 games. Apart from Gran Turismo, there wasn't really anything I wanted to touch. What happened? Game. I'm going to just exit a second. Go back into it. Well, I guess we got to see if these are rigged. Oh, look, they are. 10,000 credits. The same as what I got last time. Right, let's actually do this roulette ticket. Oh, there we go. They actually loaded. Oh, 10,000 credits again. Yeah. Credit ticket. Credit ticket. Credit ticket. 4-star roulette ticket. And we get a, what is that? Renault of some kind. Lovely. And I didn't have that, so it's fine. Right, well, that's all that's sorted. I have 8 million credits now, so I can actually look in the Legend car dealership, even though I'm going to end this here. So yeah, I've been RobtheMod. Thank you very much for watching part 79 of Gran Turismo 7 on the PlayStation 5. Hope to see you next time for more. Ta-ra.